Story time about when I messed up by opening my fiance's DMs. First, the discovery. I had a rough day and my fiance's algorithms are top notch, so I was scrolling through his apps to entertain myself, hoping for a pick-me-up. I opened his Instagram and noticed that he had a couple new DMs. We don't snoop through each other's phones, but we also don't hide anything either, or so I thought. So I clicked on them just to see if they were important because he doesn't check Insta often. Well, I see DMs from a deleted account, thus sparking my interest. So I click and I scroll. Messages go years back. Maybe 20 to 30 messages total. Some winky faces, some slightly sexual memes, and a few photos of lingerie. Nothing outright incriminating, but who is this bitch? My heart dropped. We're getting married in less than 5 months. These messages aren't okay. He's not a cheater. Never once have I ever questioned that, nor has he given me any reason to. I start to see red. Now the confrontation. I put on my big girl pants, wipe my tears, and storm into the bathroom. Rip open the shower curtain, revealing this idiot's albeit gorgeous naked body. He, though quite startled, raises his eyebrows and smirks. Looking to join, he says, "Wrong move, buddy." I go off, like a badass. He denies it, like a liar. I hold his towel hostage and toss him his phone so he can see for himself. He scrolls and pulls off this wildly confused demeanor. I literally see the blood leave his face. He kind of just says, stuttering, "Baby, I don't know." We go back and forth. He swears up and down he has no idea who this could be. "I'm just as surprised as you are," he claims, criminally. So I take his phone so I can quote this other woman for emphasis. I ready my best Valley Girl voice and scroll through the most recent received messages. I notice for the first time, inconveniently so, a picture she sent of a guinea pig. I think, aw hell, I love guinea pigs. Then I remember, I have seen this guinea pig before. Then I realize, she is me. I deleted all my social media almost a year ago. Neither of us remembered any of the messages we sent. I start laughing and happy crying. My fiance looks as if he just won the lottery and received the death penalty simultaneously. Now to the aftermath. Now we sit, both recently showered, debating whether or not we should welcome a guinea pig into our family. I am so embarrassed. He is so relieved. We are crazy, stupid, and so in love.
Storytime about why I will never let my sister pet sit for me ever again. So a little background information, I was 18 and it was the summer before my freshman year in college. And it was towards the end of the summer, so I decided that I wanted to take a vacation with a few of my girlfriends before we all went off to the different colleges that we were going to. And I have a lot of pets. I have 4 hamsters, 2 snakes, a tarantula, 2 birds, and 1 fish. So I asked her if she could watch all of them. She said yeah, so I wrote her out a schedule of when they need to be fed. And I wasn't even going to be gone a week, so it would be pretty easy because I already cleaned all their tanks and everything like that. And I wasn't worried at all because I trusted my sister. She had 2 dogs and a cat, so I thought she was going to be fine. I called her the first 2 days. Everything seemed to be going well. And I called her on the 4th day and she didn't answer the phone. So I called my mom, asked her if she could get a hold of her. And my mom said that she spent the 2 days at her boyfriend's house. Part 2 about why I will never let my sister pet sit for me ever again. So like I said, I called my mom asking if she could get a hold of her, and she said that she spent the last 2 days at her boyfriend's house. And the worst part was, my sister was the only one with a key to my apartment. So my sister calls me the next day and she's like, "Hey, sorry, I was at my boyfriend's house." And I was like, "Who fed the animals?" And she was like, "Well, I just put enough in their cages so that way they would be fine for 3 days. And she was like, "Don't worry, I'll sleep over there tonight to make sure they're okay." So I'm having a fucking panic attack right now. Anyways, so fast forward, I get home early in the morning and my sister's sleeping on the couch, but my sister brought over her animals too. So I wake my sister up and I'm like, "Hey, how are all the animals?" She's like, "Oh, they're fine." And then we walk into the kitchen and the fucking bird cage is open and my birds are missing and her cats are nowhere to be found. So now I'm freaking the fuck out. So then I go to check on the rest of my animals. Part 3 about why I will never let my sister pet sit for me ever again. So like I said, we walk into the kitchen and the bird cage is open and my birds are nowhere to be found and neither is her cat. So at that point, I run to check on all of my other animals. Thankfully, the snakes were fine, so I go to check on my tarantula and he's missing. So now I grabbed my sister's dogs, locked them in my room, and I went to go check on my hamsters. Yeah, she forgot to feed them the whole week because one of them ate the other one. So at this point, I'm having a mental fucking breakdown and I'm moving all the furniture in the living room and everything like that. And we lift up the couch and we see her cat bolt out from under the couch. After that, I look under the couch and my bird is literally torn into pieces under the fucking couch. A few days later, she texted me and she was like, "Hey, I feel so bad. Let me buy you a new bird and a new tarantula." And to this day, 2 years later, I still don't know what happened to them.
I used to have this amazing hair girl named Susanna until one day I cheated on her. I mean, she took me back, but the story was there was this other girl. She lived closer to me. She was super, super cheap. And I was like, I will give her a try. And the first red flag was that she didn't want to do a consult at all. We just scheduled an appointment right away for a multi-custom color. Okay. And I showed up and I showed her the picture of what I wanted, which was to bleach my hair out like Elsa white, like Queen of the Dragons. I didn't watch Game of Thrones. I don't know what she's called, but white. And then like some light pink, like streaks in it. That's what I wanted. And I showed her the picture and I said, can you do this in the time we have allotted, or should we plan to do multiple appointments? Because I'm happy to schedule more appointments. And she was like, oh no, I can do it all today. So we start the coloring process, and the next problem was we were just we had no chemistry, okay? We couldn't talk about anything. I literally pulled out my phone in the chair and Googled icebreaker questions to ask her. Like, I wanted to be chatty. I wanted to talk. She didn't want to talk. So we just sat there in silence. She put in the color first, which I thought was weird. I was like, I think we'd want to bleach my hair first, but she's the pro. And then how it turned out was she put in these like almost like orange, like salmon colored streaks in my hair. Didn't lighten it at all. And she was like, we're done. And tried to send me away. And I was like near tears because like the pink orange she put in looked so horrible because my hair was so dark at the time. And I said, please, like, we have another hour. Can you please just lighten my hair a little bit? I don't want to walk out of here like this. I really don't like it. I said, I promise my hair lifts so fast. It'll be really quick. And also, you know, the next appointment is your sister and you messed this up. So, I begged her to keep me for the next hour and just lighten it as much as we could. And she was really like, she wasn't happy about it. She was like, fine. And I could tell she was especially unhappy about it because as she was doing it, she was yanking my hair really hard. She was like just grabbing and pulling. And I was like, girl, you're lucky I like this, or I would be having words with your manager right now. And I asked Susanna when I went back to her if that was normal. I said, was it just because we were short on time that she had to yank my hair? And Susanna was like, no matter how fast I need to go, I've never yanked someone's hair. So then she shows me my hair again. It's all finished. We're like 15 minutes after the hour that we'd planned. And it looked bad. It looked really bad. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. Thank you. Because there was nothing we could do at this point. And I was done with her. And I thought, like, the hair pulling, like, I felt like that was her being passive aggressive. So I go up, I pay her, I tipped her a full 20%, which I don't even know if you're supposed to tip 20% for hair, but I do. I tipped her, I got in my car and I cried. Then I drove an hour to Susanna's salon and I was like near tears, and I was talking to the receptionist. I was like, can you tell Susanna I need her? And she said, Susanna's not in right now. And I said, can you just schedule a consultation appointment? And she said, yeah, sure. And I vowed to never leave her again, but then I moved away and now I'm scared to start dating new hairdressers.
Am I the asshole for encouraging my girlfriend to lose weight? I'm 27 years old and have a girlfriend of 6 years who I live with. When we first got together, she had an athletic body, and that all changed the past couple years when she got promoted and worked longer hours. She also started smoking every night, claiming it helped her relax after a hard day's work. She also started eating like shit. She's about 19 pounds heavier than when we first met, and on her 5'2" frame, it definitely shows. After ignoring my subtle hints for the last year, I finally sat her down last month and said enough is enough. She needs to make an effort to get healthy. She agreed and asked me to help since I'm in great shape. Am I the asshole for encouraging my girlfriend to lose weight? I supported her, paid for an expensive supplement program, woke up early in the morning, and prepped her lunches. When she got home, I had a healthy dinner prepped and even got her a gym plan and even bought her a road bicycle. Today I borrowed her car and found fast food wrappers everywhere. I checked her bank account and she's been picking up fast food every day since that discussion. She's also been buying fast food during work, suggesting that she's been throwing away the meals I prepped. I confronted her and she started crying and took accountability for her lack of discipline. I told my girlfriend's sister and she said I was being a controlling asshole. I just want her to be healthy. Am I the asshole for getting a bartender fired for not serving a pregnant woman? I, 23 female, bartend on weekends for some side cash. A few weeks ago, a woman came into our bar and she looked about 7 to 8 months pregnant. For context, I'm one of the head bartenders. I was minding my own business, training a new hire around 4 or 5 p.m. One of the other bartenders, Annie, 19 female, came up to me to talk about a ridiculous customer. That customer being the pregnant woman. She wanted a glass of red wine and Annie refused to serve her and suggested we ask her to leave. I looked at her like she had 2 heads. Even if someone looks pregnant, you still have to serve. Am I the asshole for getting a bartender fired for not serving a pregnant woman? You still have to serve them, or that could be a discrimination lawsuit waiting to happen. As much as I didn't like it, I got the glass of wine and did my 2 cents. I went back to training our new hire when Annie saw the woman with the glass of wine. She called me a baby killer and said I was a terrible person, and at this point the other staff members saw what was going on. Most minded their business, but some told her to cut it out. I said whether we like it or not, someone needed to serve the woman. I wasn't putting my butt on the line for a lawsuit over a glass of wine. She called me terrible for 2 weeks, so I reported her to the GM. For this and other reasons, she was fired.